especially with Logan Webb going up against Yoshinobu Yamamoto?
I think what comes to mind when I see this pitching matchup is two of the game's better pitchers. Logan certainly done it for quite some time. Very consistent, takes the baseball, really good competitor. Yeah, we're going to have our work cut out.
We've seen Yoshinobu just kind of, I don't even want to say rise to the occasion, but try to go like toe-to-toe with other star pitchers. What are you kind of just hoping to see from him and how he's just continued having such a strong performance every year?
I think that hasn't seen these guys very often, is what I would gather. Heavy right, heavy lineup. It's going to be an interesting matchup. I think for me, it's just kind of get ahead and be efficient. Certainly, we're in a good spot with the pen, but days that he pitches or Logan pitches, you're looking for length from both those guys.
What have you been able to gather about how the Giants sort of built this strong start? Like what has kind of stood out to you guys just about how that team is kind of?
I think the thing that stands out is the pitching, certainly. They've stayed relatively healthy, I think, with the starters. The relievers have been good. They prevent runs. I think they do a good job catching the baseball. They're down Chapman, certainly in Bailey this series, so that's going to probably cut into it. But they've done a really good job of preventing runs.
Sheehan doing 3 1/3 yesterday. What was the report? Kind of need another one because he didn't get through 4. Where's he at?
Yeah, I think that's the thought right now is just kind of figuring out, what's next for Emmett. I think the stuff was better than the line score. Whether he needs another one there or he joins us. So I think that's kind of what internally we're going to make that final decision here in the next day or two.
Dave, what was the report on Tyler today, and how good is it to see another guy take another step forward?
It was really good. Tyler, I got to see with my own eyes, and the velocity was there, the swing and miss, the delivery. Talking to him after, he was really excited, and so there'll be another simulated game, 2 innings next week. I'm not sure exactly which day, but we're very encouraged. I thought the stuff was really good, and Tyler was pretty excited.
Is this pretty much a full build-up for Tyler, like once he gets to the point where he can go on rehab?
Yeah, I think so. I would say the goal would be to make sure we at least get him to 5 and 75. So I think that now if you look at going today and then next week do a 2-inning situation, then you kind of continue to go from there. But today was very promising.
Skip, you just had the Padres, Giants are in town, beat the Padres again. How critical is this stretch?
It's really critical. I think that you're sort of trying to, you see the schedule, you see the opponents, you see where your ball club's at, and you just want to kind of, keep trudging along and play good baseball. I think we've managed it pretty well, and we haven't seen these guys in obviously all season, so it's going to be an exciting series. A long-time rival who they're playing. They found ways to win baseball games. They're playing good baseball, and so it'll be a good series. And then obviously we got San Diego for 4, so it's going to be a fun homestand.
Over the course of 162, does this Dodgers-Giants thing do anything for you anymore?
Probably not, but I think that, not to say it's not to say it in any disrespect, but I just think that, it just seems like, whoever we play, it's like a rivalry game, and people get up to play us. So that sort of anticipation, we feel it every series. But when you peel back a layer and you look at kind of the great games, the Dodgers versus Giants, is always exciting, certainly for fans, and that have been part of this rivalry for generations.
Dave, can you share your thoughts on the protest that started here last week?
No, I don't. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know enough to be quite honest with you. I know that when you're having to bring people in and deport people and just kind of all the unrest, it's certainly unsettling for everyone. So it's but I haven't dug enough and can't speak intelligently on it. Blake Snell, it was all fastballs. I think he got to 20, 25 pitches, and it was crispy. It was good, really good. So I'm not sure what his next one is, but he came out of it really well, which is exciting for all of us. I'm sure the next one will probably start incorporating some spin, so that'll be good. And Blake Treinen also threw one right before Blake, so it's been a good day thus far for us.
What is Blake Treinen's kind of just progression look like moving forward?
I think it's just probably another few pens, and then he's going to have to face some hitters, and then go out on rehab. So obviously it's then there's some back-to-backs on the rehab. So probably sometime right after the All-Star break.
What's going to be next for Shohei pitching?
That's a good question. I'm not sure when he's going to go and throw. I think it's 3 innings, so I'm not sure when that's happening though. But obviously we know he's not going out. It's going to be simulated, and I don't know if we've targeted a day yet.
Dave, some of Clayton's best numbers have come against the Giants, and they've had a lot of really good teams in that time. How much does that speak to his competitive nature, and how fun will it be to watch him compete against a rival?
It's going to be great. It's going to be great having Clayton pitch against those guys here at Dodger Stadium, and he's thrown some really good ball games against those guys. So he always gets up for playing the Giants, and I think on the heels of him throwing the baseball the way he did the last time, I think he's really encouraged, and so I'm looking forward to seeing him build on that last one.
To go back to Shohei, I know you said you don't necessarily have to be fully built to bring back. Is there a minimum that you need to have him at before he's in consideration for you guys to pitch?
No, I don't. I would. Well, I guess to that question, I would say probably 2 innings, but that's not set in stone. Because I think anything that you can get from Shohei on the mound is additive. But I do think that there's a build-up part that you want to make sure that you're using all your pitches and the recovery. And so what that looks like when he does take the mound for us, I can't speak to that right now, but there's still a progression that we're trying to get to make sure he feels comfortable.
Is there anything new you're seeing with Roki Sasaki, and what are you hoping to see from him to take the next step?
Nothing new. I think that right now he's kind of just trying to keep his arm moving. I don't think that he's in a place where he feels that he can add the intensity. So right now we're just kind of status quo.
And Pryor was mentioning something about his confidence. What do you think is kind of the biggest key to kind of getting that confidence back where it was?
I think the number one thing is health. And once we get him back to health where he feels like he can, use his arsenal and be pain-free, then you start getting into believing in your stuff. Your stuff has, you have enough stuff to get hitters out consistently. So I think that once we get to the health part, we build him up, I think he'll be in a good spot as far as on the confidence and really learning from, some of the things the experiences that he's had up to this point.
When you say he's not throwing with getting intensity, is that because he's still feeling something in his shoulder?
I think it's just, I don't know if he's feeling something or he just doesn't have the confidence to kind of trust that he's in a good spot. So, any way you want to look at it, he's still kind of just moving his arm, but there isn't a whole lot of intensity right now.
Dave, it's the middle of June and we're seeing the Padres and the Giants for the first time. Do you feel, because of the balanced schedule, a little, you would like to feel them out a little bit more earlier in the season, or?
No, I don't necessarily. I think it's certainly not ideal, but it really doesn't matter. It's the schedule. So, not seeing the Giants and the Padres and then seeing them back-to-back or the Padres back-to-back in, 7 times in 10 days seems sort of odd, but a lot of teams are going through it. And I think, net sum, I like the balanced schedule. I think it's good to play all the different teams. I think it's good for fans too. Thanks, guys.